Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I'm working on the lighting in here. I've gotten a lot of compliments about the studio. I just put up this cork board here that somebody made for us. Stan Rattan, SR. There he is. So I got some more things to add. I'm going to bring a sign in. I'm going to try and jazz up the studio just a little bit more, but I'm getting a lot of good comments. A lot of people like this one better than the loft, the barn. I didn't mind that one so much, but some people said it kind of looked like a closet or a storage area. So I'm glad to be in here doing this. And let's see, anything else? Oh, I just want to thank all of the audience that have subscribed to this channel and put up with me during the summer. It's always harder for me in the summer because there's a lot of grass to mow, there's a lot of things to do in the summertime, so it becomes harder for me to do these episodes. But I want to do them. I like teaching about wine. I like finding new wines, interesting wines, and now we're getting into lighter style reds. I'm kind of jazzed about this subject right now because I've tried a few lighter style reds. It used to be back in the day when people told me, they said, yeah, I like to chill my reds. Never didn't appeal to me at all. Now it kind of appeals to me. Even if you don't chill them, maybe just put a little bit, put them in the fridge for 5 minutes, whatever, even if you don't. I found a lot of nice lighter style reds, especially for summer fare. If you're doing like fish, whitefish, salmon, that sort of thing, I think these wines work really great. So I have two wines here, and they're very unusual wines. One, not so unusual, but the other one is an ancient grape that the royalties liked back in the day, and it became sort of a rare grape from the Loire Valley. And I found one that I really like. So we're going to share these with you. This is a natural wine made from the Santa Julia family of winery down in Mendoza, Argentina. This is a 2024 La Vaquita Natural Claret. And it rolls in at $19. And the interesting thing, this is a blend of Malbec. We all know about Malbec, right? And Torrontés. Torrontés is the white grape of Argentina. A lot of people have not tried Torrontés. Maybe you have or haven't. Please make in the comments, just tell me if you've tried a Torrontés. Now they're very unusual. It's a very unusual white wine. It reminds me a little bit of a Viognier. Sometimes it can be kind of viscous and heavy, and sometimes it can be light and fresh like a Viognier can be. I liken them to a Viognier, but you will not see a Torrontés outside of Argentina. This is a blend of a white wine and a red wine. Very common to do that. They do it in the Loire Valley. A lot of places will co-ferment Syrah and Viognier. They co-ferment Malbec and Torrontés. Natural wine's a huge topic. There's a big debate about it. They don't add additives or sulfites. Of course, there are sulfites in it because all wine has some sulfites in them. They do all organic wines or grapes grown in an organic environment or biodynamic. So those are all big subjects as well. We won't dive into those. We don't want this to go on and on forever. I'm messing with the lighting here. I'm going to find out when I edit this video whether or not the lighting is right. I'm trying to mess with it because I think sometimes it's harder to see things the way I had it before. So Santa Julia natural wine, and some natural wines can be kind of funky. They tend to not do any sort of manipulation at all. They don't add specific kinds of yeast. So they try to do a natural yeast fermentation. A lot of times they like to do the fermentation in clay amphoras, in concrete, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of orange wines out there that are natural wines. And orange wines, they leave it in a longer contact on the skins, seeds, and grape skins to make it orange. And there can be some natural wines that are kind of funky. Some people don't like them. I would never recommend a natural wine to anybody unless I tried it first, because I don't want anybody to get turned off from wine. And it always makes me nervous when they say it's the darling of sommeliers. I don't know. You can get kind of too weird, too funky, and then you turn people off from wine. Just say it. So let's give this one a try. 2024 Santa Julia a blend of Malbec and Torrontés. Okay, well, I can smell it from here. So very light. This is a little darker than I remember it being. It's kind of a reddish, really kind of a bright red color. Violet, and then just bright red, very fresh. Hopefully you can see that. That's why I moved the lights. I'm hoping you can see better. This is a very light red one. I can see right through it there. Let's see what we get on the nose. Thanks, Bob, again for the board. I think I've become more excited about lighter reds because I love rosé. And I like rosé because it has a little bit more going on than a white wine, a little more texture, a little more body. And I like that. I like rosé. Shout out to Ed and Claire Kelm. They're big rosé people, and I am as well. So there you go. Customers that come in the store all the time. Buy rosé. A lot of cherry, a little bit of an earthiness, like a savory element. But I'm going to call cherries all day, maybe even a little bit of beet action. Getting a little bit kind of a wilted rose petal thing going on. Yeah, we kind of blended a little bit of beet, a lot of cherries, a little bit of beet, a little bit of, you know, a little kind of just wilted rose petals, maybe a little bit of, throw a little bit of dirt in there. You get the smells I'm talking about. Okay, let's see what we get on the palate. Get the bucket over here. Santa Julia, natural wine, Malbec Torrontés. This has a little more body to it, but it's still light. Still light. I think this would be a great barbecue red. A little bit of spice on the finish. Now, when I taste it, you get that kind of texture of a beet. It doesn't taste like beets because there's so much cherry action on this wine and spice. And I am getting just a hair, a little bit of plum, a kiss of plum on this, which I didn't get on the nose. I can see it now. Interesting chocolate notes. Again, this is a light wine. I think you could put a little bit of a chill on it for sure. This would be a great barbecue chicken, salmon, spicy. I'd love to have this with salmon, especially there's a little bit of spice on the salmon. But chicken for sure. Salads would be good with this one. I don't know if it'd go with tomatoes necessarily. But yeah, very nice wine, a very interesting wine. There's an interesting sort of a kind of a char fire pit thing going on, just barely on the back end. Very good wine. I think a lot of people like this. It's not funky at all. It doesn't have any additives. It doesn't have any added sulfites. It's you know, they make it with organic grapes. So a lot of people could dig this wine. If I were to introduce a new wine drinker to a wine at $19, I think it's a little bit less than that. I just went to Wine Searcher, looked it up because I forgot the price on it. And 19 is the average price. You could probably get it for 17, 18 bucks somewhere. But good introduction to a nice natural wine that has good flavor and is lighter. Perfect summer red. I'm going to go straight up B on that one. I think it's a very solid example of a natural wine. Now, this is one I just discovered recently. Cuvée du Rossier 2023 Côte du Loire from the Loire Valley. And this is made from a grape called Pinot Denis, or Pinot Denis, however you want to say it. And this grape used to be a favorite of royalties years ago. It kind of slipped into rarity. Not a lot of them produce it. They make a rosé out of this wine, which is obvious by looking at it. This is almost rosé in color. And I may have done this in the wrong order. Couldn't remember. how they were, just saying. So this rolls in at $24. It's a Kermit Lynch import wine. A lot of people are attracted to Kermit Lynch. He is a very good importer of wines. His son is doing most of it now. I think Kermit actually spends more time in Provence. I think he has a house there. I met Kermit, nice guy. Okay, so color on this is really light, a lot lighter than the Malbec. So you can see it here. Look at that. Look at how light that is. So Bob, thank you. This is working really great. As long as they have the lights right. Just hope it doesn't make me look too pale. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Very light color. Let's see what we get on those. Cinnamon. Right off the bat. I get cinnamon on the nose. Cinnamon, some red flower petals. A little bit of kind of a combination of cherry and raspberry. But then, boy, that cinnamon just pops on this one. Let's see what we get on the palate. Very impressed with this wine. Now, this followed the Malbec, and it has a lot of spice on it. And I can remember when we tasted this a while ago, we thought, man, this has a lot of flavor for such a light colored wine. And it does. So this, now I'm getting a little strawberry action, cherry, a raspberry, earthiness, very definitely savory kind of earthiness underneath, especially on the back end. And then there's a spice action that comes through. But you can see from this would benefit from a little bit of a chill. It's really close to a rosé in color, but it's not a rosé. Loads of flavor on this one. Like I said, very savory, very earthy on the palate, with that kind of cherry, strawberry, raspberry thing coming through. Now, it's not fruity. Those are the flavor profiles. The earthiness dominates this, and the spice on this wine. And I think this would be a really solid salmon. If you're grilling salmon, this would be awesome with that. I think this is just sitting out on the porch, on the deck, 25 bucks, you know, $24. Enjoying this wine on a warm summer day. You just want a little bit more than a rosé, but not a full-bodied red. I think this would be the way to go. Good acidity, nicely integrated acidity, which makes it a great food wine. Long finish, kind of that earthiness, kind of. I don't get the cinnamon on the palate. It's certainly on the nose. But I think that the dominance of the earth, the cherry, the raspberry, a little bit of strawberry, kind of dominates that spice note that you get on the nose. So, but this is a very solid wine. I think a lot of people would like it. I think, and I'm really reaching out to the younger wine drinkers. Now you're pushing the envelope at 24 bucks, but I think you'd be satisfied with this if you weren't quite into rosé, but you wanted to do something that wasn't as heavy as, let's say, a Cab, Merlot, even a Pinot Noir. This is lighter than a Pinot Noir. This is actually lighter than a Gamay from Burgundy, down in the south. So yeah, very solid wine, a lot of flavor for the color. I'm going to go straight up B on that one as well. Both really good wines, very interesting wines, and lighter styles for the summer. So I'm going to try and seek out a few more wines that would be good summertime reds, because sometimes we just don't want to drink white wines in summer, even though a lot of us do. By the way, I discovered a Sauvignon Blanc I'm going to share with you guys. I just got so stoked about it, and I hope to share this on. And it's a Washington Sauv Blanc, one of the best ones I've tasted this year so far, so I'm excited to do that. So there you have it, light reds for summertime drinking. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Subscribe to my channel. Tell your friends about this so you can see what's coming up. I hope you're enjoying these episodes. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.